Let me just cut Regulus off real quick. I can't do numbers that well. We are literally doing algebra now. It's like fine, but you don't need it. This is 3 DPSs and a healer. Cute, the little bubbles. Okay, hard pity we are at then. Hello, friends and gamers. So, it's patch time. We already did the content catch up. I did that last night. Now we're here. It's time to look at our patch and look at our new character. All right, let's get into it. So, I am multiple days late to this patch, which means this is my first time logging in for the month of April, which I'm usually oh, it's Anjonala's birthday. I'm happy I logged in today. Fatutu and Leilani engaged in a serious debate over whether to smash the coconut with a stone or the stone with the coconut. Good for them. I'm happy they're friends. All right, here's our, oh God, I have to log in for the next 4 days. So this is early spring visitors. Make sure you log in for this because you need to get the clear drops in the, the free character. We want that. The Unilog, yeah, I'm gonna miss some of these for sure. I'm only gonna get 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna miss like 2 of them because I didn't log in time. That's okay. Have some version gifts. I don't know if I'm gonna get all of those. Travel Scrapbook is also now available as a new feature. Captures your adventures and memories up to this point. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Here you can choose and adjust the content you wish to display. Oh, I guess they just made it easier to do that. You can also view other people's scrapbook through the friend panel. Okay, so yeah, this is just the new, it looks like this is the new profile screen almost. I mean, we have this one still, but looks like there might be a better one. I'll set that up eventually. Let's grab mail, claim all, 480 clear drops extra. I don't know if we're gonna pull, but we'll find out. I need to unlock my jukebox really quickly. Oh my God, I have to do everything. We have Mercuria's outfit. Don't need that. Claim all. Looks like there's a buff on jukebox this time around because we do have another condensed patch. Also, that might be because I didn't log in for a couple of days. I'm not really sure, but patch stuff. So first of all, we do need to take a look at the, where would it even be? Oh, notice the patch notes. I did this in the content catch up, but we're just gonna do a really quick overview here. So we obviously have our banners. We have our new garments as well, new shop stuff. We have a little schedule, and we have the last evenings on Earth. This is the preview, but it does have everything listed here, so we're gonna look at it. We have our main event that goes into, it's ongoing because I'm late, but it runs until the 23rd of April, so not the full patch. The store does go for the entirety of the patch though. Tales in the Waves is I think it's like, Tales, we went over this. Tales on the Waves is the stuff, like that's the achievements you get, achievements you do, the stuff you do, to-do list for Last Evenings on Earth, and then the Promenade is the shop. We have our character story for BARCAROLA that goes until the 10th of April, so a couple more days left for that. I do need to get that done. We also have our character story for Ulrich. I don't know why that we have one for him out of nowhere. I believe it's Ulrich. It could be Ulrich, but I tend to say that Ulrich. But need to clear event chapter LD, and I'm not sure what LD is. It could be. I don't think it's Last Evenings on Earth. What's LD? Because it's event chapter. I do not know. We might take a look at Ulrich's thing tonight just because I'm like curious how we clear that. Character story for Fatutu opens on the 10th when BARCAROLA's closes, and then we can do that till the 24th. Concerto on the Cruise is 7-day sign-in event. Part 1 and 2, so I will not be doing all part 1, but I will be doing all part 2 because I took forever to log in. Between Rainy Seasons is just rewards. Series of Dusks. Yeah, I think that's like the main stuff. We do have our banners as well. I went through everything in the content catch-up video that went up sometime before this one. Most likely sometime yesterday from when this one goes up, but that is kind of all that there. We have our anecdote for Regulus that is till the 15th. It is Maine's bulletin, by the way. In the trailer, it was Bane's bulletin, and I was very confused. But double analysis, early spring visitors, we just started that. Caller ID is the preview login event thing for the next patch 2.5, and then we have the character banners here. So we kind of went through everything already, so I'm just gonna leave that there. The Regulus plushie. We do have our web event as well. Let me take a photo, because the reason we didn't do the web event in the last content catch-up video is because I didn't know my UID off the top of my head. I just took a picture of it. So we will, if I can remember, do the web event in this video, but I do want to get to the other stuff first. I have some stuff expiring too, so it's a good thing I logged in. But let's get into this. So I didn't want to spend too much time on the patch notes because I do want to get into the character stuff, but I believe first, we should probably take a look at the actual Last Evenings on Earth page and all the event stuff. I'm hoping this doesn't throw me into anything. Yeah, artificial storm experiment. Okay, so that's what we're gonna get into this patch. All right, let me just cut Regulus off real quick. So we have Last Evenings on Earth. It goes for 17 more days from when I'm recording this. This is the shop. So we have the shallow zone, which is the fancy stuff. And here we have a limited Psy Cube. I'm assuming this is the Psy Cube for BARCAROLA because it's her in the thing. 2 Unilogs. We also have Gluttony in here as well. The music for Last Evenings on Earth, as well as some limited wilderness pieces. So we have White Sand Beach Part 2, Forest on the Rocks, Corner of the Isle Part 1 and Part 2. Deep Zone is the mid-tier stuff, and then the Seafloor Zone is the stuff that you don't really need, but it's there if you have enough points. So From the Depths of Space is complete Lee 23, Finding Home on the Waves in the main event. Oh, it said LD. Okay, so this was a mistake. In the patch notes, it says LD 23. That is not the case. You just need to do the final part 23 of Last Evenings on Earth, LEE. So I don't know why it said LD. I was like, what's LD? It's just Last Evenings on Earth. So there's 23 parts to Last Evenings. So we know that. But yeah, just this has an extra day tacked onto it. So if we don't get Ulrich's character story done, we don't get it done, but I would like to get it done just because it's weird that we have like an NPC character story event. So I'm curious about it, you know? A Series of Dusks is endgame event content type thing, so I probably won't get to that. We have the Anecdote for Regulus, which has 9 days left. I will get to that, I swear. Beyond the Coastline, which also we have BARCAROLA's Survey, which we'll get into that as well. Main's Bulletin, which I don't do. Reveries in the Rain, and then Besides the Eclipse and Building Paradise are still locked. So yay, we did that. All right, so we will get back to BARCAROLA's Survey, but before that, we got to go through banner stuff. So playing in Rainbow Clef is the banner for BARCAROLA. The more I see that, it's so giving Hot to Go Chaperone. I love it so much. I might pull for BARCAROLA just because she's giving Hot to Go Chaperone, quite frankly. We do have a Yearning of the Water rerun for Tuesday and Jay. We talked about that yesterday. We have Ripples on the Water, Clang of Sword and Armor rerun for a night. Has 2 days left, so that actually might be over by the time I actually get this video up because I'm very behind on everything. And then we have our standard. Let us take a quick look at BARCAROLA. Also, we have on this banner 5 stars Necrologist and Baby Blue. I have both of these characters, so they'd be portraits for me. BARCAROLA is both a DPS and a support. I know nothing about her kit, so we'll get into this. We'll get into this quick. All right, so what does she actually do? She has her ult here. Sea Breeze Serenade is a 1-target buff, so that's where the support comes in. She does both. Because it lists her as a DPS and a support, I'm assuming she's more of a sub DPS or like a burst DPS support wombo combo situation. Like, it seems like she's like kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. So I wouldn't consider her, like, I haven't even looked at her kit yet, but this is what it's kind of giving, like seeing both DPS and support next to each other. Like, jack of all trades, master of none. I wouldn't make her my main DPS as of now, but I think having her on a team can be really helpful because reverse teams tend to be the best when you have characters who are jacks of all trades, quite frankly. And I think it's more fun to be a little bit good at everything than absolutely fantastic at one thing. This Sea Breeze Serenade is a 1-target buff. Extends the quartet status on all allies by 1 round and grants the quartet status to target ally and to self for 5 rounds. So what is quartet? It is a positive status effect where you gain 300 attack. At the start of each round, you gain an additional accumulated points of inspiration. So we'll get to inspiration in a second, times 5 attack. This effect is recalculated at the start of each round. So don't ask me to do theory crafting related to that because I can't do numbers that well. And for each ally in the quartet status, BARCAROLA gains an additional 15% bonus for this attack increase effect. After casting an attack type incantation, grant 1 additional point of inspiration to impromptu incantation. Again, we'll get to that at the end of this here. And consume 1 Eureka from each character in the quartet status. This is undispellable. It is what it is. Cool. So that's for 5 rounds. If either target is already in the quartet status, the quartet status is extended to 5 rounds. After, recovers Eureka +3 to all allies in the quartet status. So a lot of like passive things happening here in this ultimate. Grants Moxie +1 to self to BARCAROLA and grants 8 points of inspiration to impromptu incantation for the round. So inspiration is a big box here. Inspiration is when for every 1 Eureka consumed, you accumulate 1 point of inspiration. At the start of each round, randomly distribute inspiration points onto basic incantations. So this is like, I'm assuming upgrades for card star level thing. Each incantation may receive up to 5 points of inspiration at the end of the round. Maybe not, I don't know. We'll see. This is something I'm gonna have to see in action because it's one of those things where reading it, I'm like, what is happening? But when it's actually in practice, it's probably very simple. The points of inspiration on unused incantations are cleared though. When actively casting an incantation with inspiration points on it, so it seems like it's just a stacking mechanic on the card itself, you add an impromptu incantation to the end of the spell queue, and all inspiration points on these casted incantations will be granted to the impromptu incantation. Okay, so you probably want to then prioritize cards that have points of inspiration on them so you can get a bigger damage number, go boom boom at the end of the round with the, you know. Impromptu incantation then is a single target attack, which deals 200% mental damage to a random enemy, and this attack deals an additional X% mental damage, where X is equal to the total points of inspiration granted to impromptu incantation times 15. A lot of math here. If impromptu incantation has at least 3, 6, 12, or 20 points of inspiration, impromptu incantation gains attack instances +1, 2, 3, or 5. So you get like an extra bonus if you get all the way to 20. Impromptu incantation's damage calculation is also based on the average stats of all allies. So BARCAROLA is not a hyper carry. She cannot carry the entire team with big damage numbers. You kind of need to have a well-built team all around, which makes me think she might not be the best free-to-play, like she might not be the most free-to-play friendly, quite frankly. But I still don't think she's a bad character, at least yet. I feel like she could be a really good support. I don't think, it says she's DPS. I'm assuming that's probably because of her other incantations being attacks. So yeah, curious, but we'll see. Anyways, speaking of those other incantation, we have Cascading Arpeggios. It's an attack all the way through. So at incantation level 1, it is a single target attack which deals 200% mental damage, and after the attack consumes 2 Eureka and grants attack instance +1 to impromptu incantation for the round. If at least 3 allies are in the quartet status, grants an additional attack instance to +1 to impromptu incantation. Now, this at least 3 allies bit does concern me a little bit because if you're running a team that only has 3 characters and you have somebody in the suitcase, I'm assuming BARCAROLA counts, but I'm not sure. So again, that's not something we can try out in the survey stage because you do have a 4-stack team on that, but I'm curious what that means. Again, it seems like she might not be the most early game free-to-play friendly character, quite frankly. But that doesn't mean she sucks. That means she's just, if you want to pull for her and you're just in your early game like I am, just save her. Also, she probably can do damage and support even without having the whole 3-stack. Or I guess it would technically be a 4-stack. We'll find out. Anyways, because a lot of times a kit can be described in a way that doesn't necessarily sound like it's helpful or like you won't be able to get the most out of it. But then you actually get in game and it's like, oh, this works perfectly fine, actually. So we'll see. For Incantation 2, it's still a single target attack, but instead of dealing 200% mental damage, you're dealing 300% mental damage. And everything else looks exactly the same. It's just that mental damage percent goes up with each stack. So, I mean, it probably would be helpful. I think it depends on how you're running BARCAROLA, because if you're running her as a DPS mainly, then you want to stack this incantation. You want to get all the way to 3 stars. That's going to be very important. But if you're running her more as a support, I think you can run it at 1 incantation level and call it a day. Because the stacks of everything to impromptu incantation and the 3 allies and the quartet, it's all the same. So I think it depends on how you're running her. It makes me think then that this support stuff is secondary in her kit, and the DPS aspect, it might be the main thing, because also it's listed first. Unsure. We'll have to find that out in practice. See the trial team they run her with. But Incantation level 3, it is still a single target attack, but it deals 500% mental damage, and everything else is the same. So it really is just that mental damage percentage going up, which with each star you get on the card. Okay, our other attack, Music of the Heart, and I need to finish this soon because I'm running out of breath. This is like the 3rd video I've done today. I'm running out of breath. Usually I'm like, my throat starts to hurt, so I have to stop. No, I'm literally running out of oxygen. Okay, Music of the Heart. At Incantation level 1, this is still a single target attack, deals 200% mental damage. After the attack, consumes 2 Eureka and grants damage dealt +20 to impromptu incantation for the round. Again, it seems very similar to her other attack, but just a little bit different font, if you will. Same thing, different font. If at least 3 allies are in the quartet status, grants an additional damage dealt plus 20% to impromptu incantation. I would like to see these next to each other. So, okay, so with cascading arpeggios, it's an attack instance that you gain to impromptu incantation. However, on Music of the Heart, it's a extra damage percentage to that impromptu incantation. So hypothetically, I'm assuming you might want to run cascading arpeggios before Music of the Heart, if that makes sense. You want to get these stacks of cascading arpeggios, get those attack instances up, and then hypothetically get the extra damage dealt. Now, it might not matter, like order of operations might not matter because it all hits at the end anyways in the same way, but hypothetically, I would probably do cascading arpeggios over Music of the Heart. But it really just comes down to, I think, personal preference and how you're running her again. But anyways, that's Incantation 1. Incantation 2, everything is the same. Literally everything is the same, except you're dealing 300% mental damage, very similar to arpeggios. And then with Incantation level 3, it is 500% mental damage. So it's literally almost identical. Like her kit is very similar. It's a very standard, simple kit, quite frankly. But then you have this passive stuff going on in the background that's like, huh, what? We're doing algebra now, huh? So hypothetically, it's easy to understand, but in practice, we'll find out, I guess. Anyways, looking a little bit at her insight levels passive stuff now. At insight level 1, we have Solo Symphony here, but at insight 1, whenever an ally consumes Eureka, you accumulate points of inspiration. Barcarola increases the likelihood of inspiration points being distributed onto attack type incantations. Okay, interesting. I do like that it prioritizes those attack type ones because it is like an attack buff essentially. When entering battle, accumulate 3 points of inspiration and gain max Eureka +1. At the start of each round, Barcarola gains Eureka +4, and after an ally actively casts an attack type incantation, Barcarola gains Eureka +1. Okay, God. Her Insight 1 is ridiculous. Okay, Insight 2, means to an end here. This is one that is not necessarily like, I wouldn't end at Insight 2, but obviously the goal is to get to Insight 3. Insight 2 is a attack plus 5% when you're entering battle, and then Insight 3, at the start of the round, grant damage dealt plus X% to self for 1 round, where X is equal to 5 plus the accumulated points of inspiration times 2.5. We are literally doing algebra now. They put algebra in my reverse 1999. Impromptu incantation is also now of the Star of Flautus. And after each attack instance of impromptu incantation within the same round, impromptu incantation gains crit rate plus 7.5% and crit damage plus 7.5%. Now, that 7.5% is a weird number. So I'm assuming when we get into the pay to play section in a couple seconds here, that's gonna even out to not be 7.5% because that's a weird number. Anyways, yeah, I don't even want to go into hypotheticals for her insight stuff. I don't like algebra. I don't, gonna be honest. I think it was pre-algebra. I almost failed in middle school. I think I almost failed pre-algebra, which I don't think you're supposed to be taking pre-algebra in middle school, by the way. I think that's like something that you do in high school now, but I did it in middle school. Don't know why. Anyways, my school district was weirdly ahead though. And then I was also kind of ahead from that when I should not have been. And like, cause they changed it after like the year after me. I think they like lowered it, like they dumbed it down a little bit. Anyways, I say that, but I almost failed it. So like, anyways, pay to play section, right? I'm a VTuber. What do you expect? Do you expect me to be good at math? Because I wouldn't expect me to be good at math. Anyways, this is the pay to play section. What is the pay to play section of the video? It's where we go over the portrait info on the 6-star character that you have to pull for. Because if you want these portraits, you could save for like maybe 1 or 2 if you're not you could save for all of them if you're insane and you never pulled ever. But hypothetically, for most people, if you want these portraits, you're gonna have to spend some money. So this is the pay to play section of the video. It's where I go through all the portraits, how many copies we would take to get there, and say if I think it's worth it or not. As somebody who is free to play, I say if I think if it's worth it. Anyways, so everything we just went through is portrait level 0. That is 1 copy of Barcarola. From here on out, and the more we go through, it gets dicier and dicier. So, portrait level 1, 2 copies of Barcarola is a buff for cascading arpeggios. This is the one that is the stacking of the impromptu incantation, not the attack buff to impromptu incantation. This is the stacking one. So the attack instances granted to impromptu incantation for the round is increased to 2. I believe initially it is, yes, because we can open this up now. It's +1 initially, and that does not change across every level. So now you get that buffed up to 2. I would not, if I was going to pull portraits off the bat, I wouldn't pull just for 1. Usually what they'll do is portrait 1 will be like, okay, that's actually pretty good. And then 2 will be a means to an end and 4 will be a means to an end. What do I mean by a means to an end? It's one that it's really kind of unnecessary. Like, sure, the buff is probably, if it's okay, it's nice to have, but you don't need it. It's a means to an end, meaning if you're gonna get 2, you're really pulling for 3. Like, you know, you're gonna end up pulling that anyways. But weirdly enough, they're starting with level 1. Portrait level 1 being a means to an end, because I don't think you need it to be increased to 2. It would be nice, but it's not like crazy, you know? Like, it's not like you need this portrait. Oh my god. It's like fine, but you don't need it. So anyways, moving on. Portrait level 2. This is 3 copies of BARCAROLA. It's a buff for Solo Symphony, which is her passive buffing skills that come with leveling up her insight level. So for Solo Symphony buff here, after each attack instance of impromptu incantation within the same round, the critical rate increase is now 15% and the critical damage increase is now 15%. What did I tell you? Insight 3, the crit damage numbers being weird, I thought it would go up to 14 because I saw 7s and was like, yeah, 14. No, it would be 15 because if 7.5 doubled is 15. So I was right about that. It does go up to 15%. Quite frankly, I do think level 2 could be kind of worth it. But again, I don't know if you're gonna need it because it is just a crit increase. And I never really say if I don't think crit increases. I don't think crit increases are like, you need a crit increase sort of thing. Like, you know, it's fine. It's probably great to have, but I don't think you need it, hypothetically. So still, I don't think you need to pull. That again makes me think BARCAROLA is not a very free-to-play friendly character because this is now, this is like, both of these kind of feel like means to an end, which means that you'd be really pulling for these ones, which is where it starts. Because 1 and 2, hypothetically, if you save for like a couple months and are like playing every single day and doing all the end game and are just like locked in, you could hypothetically get portraits 1 and 2. But 3 is where it starts to get a bit, like I said, dicey. So speaking of portrait level 3, this is 4 copies of BARCAROLA. This is another buff for cascading arpeggios. When at least 3 allies are in the quartet status, the additional attack instances granted to impromptu incantation is increased to 2. So if we look at cascading arpeggios again, it also, hypothetically, with this third one, you would get +2 on the damage dealing half of this for impromptu incantation instances, as well as another like +2 as well on the quartet buff side of that. Again, I don't know if it seems, because the thing, I'm kind of stuck on the fence for BARCAROLA, whether she is a very free-to-play friendly character, because hypothetically you really don't even need to pull her portraits, because like there's all the sort of things that are like, it's good to have, but you don't need it. Or, because I haven't read 4 and 5 yet, if she is like very not free-to-play friendly, because you need 4 and 5 for her to be a viable character. I don't know. Speaking of that, level 4 portrait level 4, which is 5 copies of BARCAROLA, is a buff for Music of the Heart. This is the damaged buff thing for her skill thing. It's the one that buffs the attack percent. Anyways, impromptu incantation's damage dealt increase for the round is now +35% instead of +20. It was originally +20 if we go over to Music of the Heart. So it's not a huge increase. I think if it was 40, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But again, I don't necessarily think it's a means to an end, but it doesn't totally feel necessary. Portrait level 5 then is a Sea Breeze Serenade buff. I believe this is her ult. Yes. So while in the quartet status, after casting an attack type incantation, it grants another 1 additional point of inspiration to impromptu incantation. Now that I've kind of gone through all these, I don't think you need 6 copies of BARCAROLA. Maybe it's the sort of thing, like this is gonna now come down to the survey where you need these buffs for her to be totally viable, but also I don't know, like in practice, do you need them is the question. My thing with BARCAROLA is she will be added to the standard in 2.7, I believe, the standard pool of characters. So a couple months from now, quite frankly. Not a couple months, but like 3 or 4. Like by the end of the year, she'll be in the standard pool. My personal recommendation as of now, before doing the survey, if I change my mind, I'll say so, but before doing the survey, my personal recommendation is maybe pull for 1 copy of BARCAROLA this time around, and then wait it out a little bit see if you like her, see if you use her, and then when she comes around on the standard or is on reruns or something, then go for pulling other copies. I think it depends on your personal play style and if you really like using BARCAROLA in teams, because also I haven't done her story or the event story or anything yet, so I might get to that and really love her as a character and want, like, you, this is also you, I'm free to play, so you might want to get more copies, but personally, I don't think any of the portraits are crazy. They all seem like not even like means to an end portrait levels. It's like, yeah, that would be nice to have, but it's not like life-changing is how it all kind of feels to me. But I'm not the end all be all of kit info in these games. I just like yapping about it. So speaking of yapping, let's go do that survey. Let's go yap about that. I do really like her. And like I said, I might end up pulling just because I look at her and I think of Hot to Go Chaperone. So I'm very biased. What can I say? Hot to Go isn't even my favorite Chaperone song. Okay. Survey time. Survey time. We're not talking about cigars, Tenet. I love you, but not right now. I need to change my home screen because Tenet talks a lot, but I wanted to have her Battle Pass outfit on during her patch because she's so pretty. Okay, we go beyond the coastline. Survey. We are on the beach. Actually, I need to move my box. Hold on. We're back. All right, cool. So what are we rocking with? We have Matilda, BARCAROLA, Voyager, and Tooth Fairy. So I think Matilda's here as a DPS. Voyager, we have 2 debuff DPSs, so I think it's like it's a full star team. So I think it's it's like a team of characters that can all do a little bit of damage and a little bit of supports. Because then we have Tooth Fairy. So you know what this is? You know what this is? This is 3 DPSs and a healer. I've made this joke before. Sometimes a team is just 3 DPSs and a healer, and it's okay. And you know what? That's what this is, technically. They all have DPS in their tags. So technically, this team is 3 DPSs and a healer. All right, let's get started. Let's see how this runs. So how we do this, I start with doing everything for the main, like the new main character. I run all the stuff for her that shows up. So I'm gonna run this one. And none of the rest of these are for BARCAROLA. So what do you want from me on inspiration? Sure, fine, cool. These are the stacks, I believe, as well. So hypothetically then, because I don't have anything else that runs for BARCAROLA, just this here, I'm gonna run things based on the order of points they have. I'm not gonna run this health because we don't need it. So I'm gonna run this attack because it has 3. And then we have 1 and 1. That's actually so cute, though. Also, the music playing, so now we can speed. That's actually so cute, though, that they put BARCAROLA and Voyager on a team together because they both play little stringed instruments. That's so cute. I love them. They can start a little orchestra duo. That's so cute. I hope they do. It's what they deserve. Let's siphon BARCAROLA into the suitcase and have her do a little orchestra quartet. Not quartet. It would be a duo with Voyager. I think that'd be really cute. We have no more things for... Yeah, BARCAROLA's things don't prompt that easily. Casting an incantation with inspiration points can incantation attack. The more incantations with inspiration points, the more powerful the impromptu incantation becomes. Okay, I didn't pay attention, but I think we did have that impromptu incantation. So again, I'm going to prioritize what has the points on it in that order. So I am going to let it go. Yeah, there's the impromptu one with 7 points on it. Okay. All right, I see the vision. I do kind of like that mechanic because it gives you an extra thing. Because a lot of times with these sort of, like with reverse especially, sometimes you just need an extra little thing to hit. Like you just need another turn in your turn, essentially. So I kind of like that concept. I think that is enough to get me to pull for BARCAROLA. So this is another BARCAROLA one. So we're gonna hit that and then I don't think we need heals, so I'm gonna save that. But then we'll run all of... Wait, if I'm really smart about this, we would do... Actually, that'll hit eventually. Oh, these can't stack. For whatever reason, I thought these could stack. And I guess we will do 1 health. So we have 5 points on that one. Yeah. Yeah, BARCAROLA's cards don't come up that frequently, but that impromptu incantation means she does do an attack, essentially, every single round. Which I think that's a good thing to have. All right. I have switched opinions. I think BARCAROLA is a very important character. I think she is also a lot more free-to-play friendly than I initially thought she would be, because I don't think you need a ton of portraits on her. I wonder if we look at our characters here, can I tell how many portraits they put on her? I don't think... yeah, I think she might just be portrait 1. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look after this. We'll like go back into the survey, but I think she actually is pretty good. So I'm gonna hit this one just so those can stack. And then we'll do that. Oh, I didn't think about this properly because we can get those. We'll get this to stack here. Get that to stack, do another attack. And those are all of our points actually. So I'm just gonna do another little heal and we have 6 points. Yeah, I kind of like this. It feels like it's this, doing it this way is taking a long time. Like I've been in this for a lot of rounds and not gotten a ton of damage done. But most of that damage is hitting the little guys. So it almost kind of feels like a standstill. Oh, we're all healing every round. That's why it feels like nothing's being done. Okay, that makes more sense. So I'm gonna hit you and you, let those stack and hit that and then debuff. I know I have that Matilda ult sitting there, by the way, but I do want to see more of what BARCAROLA can do than Matilda. It's kind of the whole point of this. That was cute. That was, wait, the little like teapot, that was quite cute. Because like we're taking out the little guys pretty easy, but this big guy keeps healing. And it's probably from the little guys, possibly. We're not getting those incantations. Oh, we have our ult, so I'm gonna run these to try and get those up. And then I'll just run that attack and we will run her ult. Oh wait, what does her ult do? Because we get a single target buff. Either target is already in quartet. Is anyone in quartet? How can I tell? I'm just gonna cast it on BARCAROLA, sure. See what happens. So I'm gonna have to turn off double speed eventually. All right, turn it off there. Because I do want to see her ult in all its glory. There it is. Cute, the little bubbles. It's cute. She has a cute ult. It's not like an earth-shattering ult, but it's cute. That's, I think, my final opinion on BARCAROLA. She's not like insane, but she's fun and cute and I love her. Like, I think I might pull. I can see myself pulling. So we've kind of seen everything now. We just gotta take this guy out now. So I am still going to prioritize the point system here. And maybe possibly we focus on ults as well, but I do kind of like the idea of the point system because it sets up the team for me and I don't really have to think about it. And I kind of like that. I don't gotta think about things. So I feel like if it's like, especially story stages that you can't do auto clear for, it might be helpful for me to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna pick these that have points on them. Cool, 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 cool. Awesome. Do that. And then let's start running these ults that I've been sitting on the entire 8 rounds we've been here. Yeah, see, like Tooth Fairy's ult is really cool, but I don't think BARCAROLA's is like anything to like Voyager's as well. BARCAROLA's is fine. She's cute, but it's not my favorite ult in the game, and that's fine. Look at that go! Oh my god! Oh yeah, because she does more damage if for the attack specific cards. If it's an attack card specifically, that's why we have 3 DPSs and a healer. Oh my god, that makes sense now. It all makes sense. Run that. Run that. Run that. We can do a debuff, sure. This isn't gonna do much. This round isn't gonna be much to write home about because we just had a big round before this. Yeah, I think I kind of love BARCAROLA. It's just like I feel like it's an interesting mechanic. Like I just played a little bit of Zenless on Zero, the Hollow Zero event that's ending like tonight or tomorrow. And it was like a different mechanic, but it was weird and I didn't like it. This is a different mechanic and I do like it. I really like this, so I'm cool with it. Especially because I don't have to think as much. I'm very indecisive. And so this kind of like sets it up for me. Like, okay, well, that's where our incantation points are. So let's just do those. Goodbye, big cat. Goodbye, big critter. That was fun. That was really fun. That was actually quite fun. I really like that. All right. And also the fact that they were running here with Matilda, I can easily run that team. So cool. I like that. We're pulling for BARCAROLA. All right. Yeah, I actually really like BARCAROLA like a lot. I know I wanted to check something afterwards, but I forgot. Please don't start the, oh, okay, didn't start the thing. I love though that they made it like a music staff. That's quite cute. That is so cute. I love that. This is so adorable. So we have 8, but we will get to that in the next couple of days. Obviously, I will be posting it down the line, but I will be recording it in the next couple of days. I really like BARCAROLA. I don't think anyone's surprised. I was interested in her from the start because I'm also a violin player, and she plays violin. I think it's cute. I think she's cute. So I have 2,600 clear drops and some unilogs as well. So I don't know where I'm at pity-wise. I think I might be close to something. Argus is on page 6, so 57. What's pity? If I'm at 57, what's the guarantee? It's 60. It's 60. Okay, hard pity we are at then. Well, we can do a couple polls and get BARCAROLA. I think I would have to win a 50-50 though. My track record is not the greatest. So it was 57. So hold on, I can look at this really quickly. 58. I miscounted 58. So this would be poll number 59. This is one of those ones where I'm like, I have to be counting wrong. I am the fool. I am Boo Boo the fool. Not just the fool, I'm Boo Boo the fool. 60. Okay, no, I had to have counted it wrong. So this is probably 59, right? Right? Nick Bottom. Why are these characters like taunting me? The fool, Nick Bottom. Hold on. Let me actually check this again. The rate details. Is it just like the percentage goes up, or the rate of summoning a 6-star character in the next? Okay, the rate rises. Okay, so every 70 summons. So we're at Hard Pity. Now we're at Boo Boo the Fool Hard Pity. So that was 60. This will be 61. Okay, it's the twins. I don't want to hear that right now. It's 11 o'clock at night. I don't want to hear that. 62. Whole number 62. We're Hard Pity on this. 62. Okay. 63. I'm just gonna keep at it. I should have just done a 10 pull. Made this easy. That was 63. So I think this is 64. I've lost track at this point because I'm speed running. 64. Hi, Oliver. Okay, 65. 65. There it is. Will we win? Will we want to see a star? We want to see a star. Okay, click through. Is it star? Is it star? Is it star? Is it star? It's star. It's star. It's star. Yes!
Thank you so much for bringing me on board.
Cutie.
BARCAROLA, former musical director of the
She's so
Free
cute.
Breeze, and at your service.
We love you, BARCAROLA. Yay. Hey, I won my 50-50. Nice. 4 days left on that. And we're going fresh off Pity into Fatutu's banner. So awesome. Great. We got BARCAROLA. I really liked her kit though. I thought her playstyle was quite fun. There she is. How cute. And what does her insight look like? Okay, yeah, that's her insight. But I need to get her up to insight 1 because I love this so much. Or unlocks at insight level 2. I need to get her to insight 2 because I love this outfit so much. I really do. She's such a cutie. I love her. Yay! I think was Star one of the ones I've needed as well, because there was a long time where I had like no plant. You can see I have a lot of beasts, and I had no plant characters, and then I got all at once like quite a few really good plant characters like Argus and Vila. I got them both at once, and then I have some other 5-star plant characters that can also do pretty well. So yeah, but I feel like now I'm like trying to get star characters. Yeah, because I don't have any 6-star characters until I got BARCAROLA. So it looks like they were running her with Matilda. So I am interested in running that for sure. So I'll have to build up my Matilda as well because I've been focusing more on my 6-star characters. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Let me pin BARCAROLA just so I don't have to like go searching for her later on. But yeah, that's what I'm building next. Probably can do a little bit here immediately. Oh, I'm out of stuff. This, I do need to farm that. Okay, so that'll just be what I'm doing off camera from here on out. But I'm happy to have BARCAROLA. Yeah. I gotta take my flex shot because I'm so late, but she's home. She's cute. She's so cute. I love her. I took the wrong screenshot. I never know my right keybinds. Still took the wrong screenshot. What the heck? Can I just take a screenshot, please? There we go. Perfect. I kept taking a screenshot of both my monitors at the same time, and I'm like, no, you don't need to see my OBS. You don't need to see my setup. It's not good, but you don't need to see it. I'm not exposing myself like that. Okay, flex tweet accomplished. I leveled up a character one time. It's been a little bit more than one time, guys. I need to work on that now. I will do that off camera a little bit. It is 11:30 at night, but I'm gonna do my dailies after this. But I am pooped. So I think that's all the new stuff. There's stuff in the shop, obviously, but we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that. All right, I think we should put BARCAROLA on the main screen because I said so. It's who we're building. I also prefer when it's a character that takes up more of the screen, and because BARCAROLA has her not cello, not upright bass thing, it takes up a lot of the screen. So I think it's like aesthetically pleasing. Okay, that's it for this video. We can end here with BARCAROLA on my main screen because I did get her to come home. So that is it for this video. I think it was very successful. We don't have any other characters to look at. We're just here. This was a successful patch video. It was late, but it was successful. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this will go up with at least like a couple days left to get BARCAROLA. If not, I hope everyone has good luck on their Fatutu pulls. And if you wanted BARCAROLA, you got BARCAROLA. Because, I'm really kind of close here. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell. She did interrupt me. It's okay, I'm gonna rest after this BARCAROLA. It's fine. But where was I? I forgot my outro. BARCAROLA, you interrupted me and I forgot my outro. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!